Prescription eyewear. Prescription eyewear.
The Roy Rogers Show, starring Roy Rogers, King of the Cowboys, Trigger, his golden palomino, and Dale Evans, Queen of the West, with Pat Brady, his comical sidekick, and Roy's wonder dog, Bullet.
She ought to be along any minute now.
What's the idea of bumming off the old lady anyway? Why don't the boss just buy her land and forget about it?
He's tried that for months. She won't sell. He figures this the only way he can get it.
Hey, that looks like Granny.
There she is.
Let's take 'em, Bullet. Out, Trigger. Where's Bullet? Bullet! Come here, fella. Hello, Bullet. All right, fella? We better go see what's happened to Granny. Granny, are you all right?
Sure. What's the matter with me?
Oh, I thought that... I heard a shot and...
Oh, some hunters mistook me for a deer, I guess. But I dropped at the whoosh of the first bullet. I rolled all the way down to the bottom of the canyon before I could stop myself.
Then you're not hurt?
Not me. It was easier than walking. And I made better time. A body isn't safe in the woods this time of year with all these hunters around. What are you doing way out here, Roy?
I came out to meet you. I knew you'd be coming in for your birthday tomorrow.
Now, that's real nice of you, Roy.
Here, let me help you with this rucksack.
Leave it. If I took that sack off my back, I'd fall flat on my face.
Well, it looked like you had a good season.
About the same. I do all right because I don't get greedy and try to trap all the animals the same season. Hello, Trigger.
Why don't you climb aboard and give your feet a rest?
Oh, I've been walking in and out for my trap line every season for 50 years. I'm not getting soft now.
Tell me, Granny, how old will you be tomorrow?
How old do I look?
Well, you must be past 50, but you sure don't look it.
I'm going to let you in on a big secret. But you mustn't tell anybody. Not even Dale.
It's a promise.
I'll be 74 tomorrow.
74? Well, it wouldn't matter if I did tell on you. Nobody'd believe me. You sure you won't ride?
Oh, it's too late to start in now.
All right.
Well, would you look at that, Nellie Bell? Hi.
How you doing, Pat?
Let me help her down, Roy.
All right.
How are you, Pat?
Well, just fine, Granny. Only a little surprised seeing you riding a horse. Here, let me help you down. Now, just a minute. We'll have to... See, I don't want to hurt you. I'm plenty strong now. Let's... Hey, I know what. I'll uncinch Trigger's saddle, and you'll slide right off. You won't be hurt. It'll be a cinch.
Don't let me fall.
Oh, no, don't worry about that. Don't worry about that. I got muscles in my ears.
Granny, you've really had a rough day.
Yeah.
I better get you inside before you get hurt. Here, I'll get your rucksack.
Thank you, Roy.
Thank you.
Thank you, too, Pat.
Wow. Well, my idea worked, but not quite the way I expected.
I see.
Hey, where's Granny?
She went inside.
Hey, anything happen out on the trail?
I'll tell you after I've taken care of Trigger.
Now tell me, Granny, how many candles shall I put on your birthday cake?
1.
1? Listen, how old will you really be this birthday?
How old do you think?
Well, I know you must be past 50, but you sure don't look it, Granny.
Can you keep a secret?
Mm-hmm.
I'll be 74 tomorrow.
74? Really?
Now, you're not to tell anyone, not even Roy.
I promise, Granny. Girl Scout's honor.
Give me some dimes, bartender. I want to try my luck on your one-arm band.
Okay, partner. About $2 worth?
Mm-hmm. You'll have to charge them till I sell my furs.
Granny, your credit's as good as gold.
Hi, Bud.
Throwing your money away again, Granny?
Good old Granny. She still dreams she's living in the old West.
Yeah. You were right in sending me out to meet her.
Did you see those 2 men I told you about?
Yeah, but they weren't after her first. They tried to kill her.
Kill her? Granny? Why?
I don't know. Granny didn't even see them. She thinks a couple of deer hunters mistook her for a deer.
Here comes Sheriff Blodgett.
Well, Granny, looks like you're going to catch up on a lot of letter writing there.
You're darn tootin', and I got to hurry. The Pony Express will be pulling out any minute now.
Pony Express? Hasn't been one in 50 years. Have you cooked up some new gambling game with that stamp machine, or has Granny gone a little off her rocker?
Oh, she just likes to pretend it's a slot machine.
Oh, give me a cup of coffee, please.
Right.
How's things out at the ranch, Roy?
All right, I guess, Sheriff. Things have been going along fine.
I guess working that trap line and living by herself has finally got poor old Granny.
Listen, Granny's just as sane as you are. She just likes to pretend that's a slot machine. She gets a kick out of it, so... Well, hello, Mr. Swallow.
Give me a cup of coffee, please.
How's the insurance, notary public, and real estate business today?
Quiet, Dale. Business is real quiet.
Check me out, bartender.
Well, how'd you do?
Well, pardon, I think I broke even.
Good.
Winning on the stamp machine. She sounds crazy to me.
fellas did a fine job.
Is she dead?
Right now, she looks healthier than both of you. There's not a scratch on her.
Well, what happened to that fellow with the dog and a Palomino horse?
Roy Rogers? He was in there, too. He didn't say a word.
Must have thought we were a couple of dumb hunters.
He might think you're dumb, but not hunters. You better get out of town tonight.
If we quit now, who's gonna pay us?
You'll muffed your chance. I'll see Granny tonight and make one more try to put the deal over legitimately.
Just a minute. Where do I come in on that?
You don't. You're her grandnephew, so you'll get her money when she dies.
She can't live forever.
You can't make a move like that now. Rogers will nail you for sure.
Not if we nail him first. Hey.
There's Rogers now, riding out of town, heading north.
Maybe he's going back on the trail to Granny's trap lines.
Now, don't forget what he did to you the last time you met.
Yeah, but this time the surprise is going to be on him. We passed a couple of abandoned mine shafts on that trail, and Mr. Rogers is going to fall into one, accidentally.
Hey! Oh! Whoop! Hey! Hey!
There he is, up ahead. We'll circle around and get ahead of him.
Well, Dale, I'll be moving along. I've got to go to the beauty parlor to get myself fixed up. Well, Roy, where have you been?
Well, he's been out in the kitchen talking with me.
All the time?
Sure. Anything wrong?
I saw someone dressed like you ride by the window on Trigger.
Oh, it's Pat. I told him to look around for those two fellows who were in here this morning for breakfast.
Yeah, but why would he be dressed like you?
He probably figured if he looked like me, they'd be sure to show themselves.
Roy, listen, we've got to do something. They'll take Pat apart.
He must have gone out on the trail.
Granny, would you take over for me here at the place? I've got to go with Roy and help find Pat. Give me a minute to change and I'll be right with you.
All right.
Go back and show yourself. I'll be waiting.
Sounds like Pat's trick's working.
Yeah.
Better get rid of him quick.
That's all for Rogers, I guess.
It's full of water.
That won't make it any easier for him to get out.
Yeah, looks like bullets found him.
Help! Bullet! Help!
That was Pat calling.
Yeah, it sounds like he's in the well.
Pat, you down there?
Yeah! Help!
I'll get a rope. Trigger, come here.
Just take it all right, boy. It's going to be okay.
I'm being buried alive in water. I can't stay afloat much longer. Help!
Grab it now. Does it reach?
Yeah!
Okay, hang on.
Take it easy, Pat. Don't get excited. Everything's going to be all right. We'll get you out of here. Hang on, boys. We're almost there.
Give me your hand.
Well, it serves you right for trying to double Roy.
Yeah, maybe this will teach you a lesson. What do you got in your shirt? Hey!
Hey, wait a minute.
Hi, Granny.
Hey, what's the matter with Bullet? Can't he take a joke?
He can take an arm, too.
Yeah, I guess he can. Well, if you think it's safe for me to get down, I'll sort of drift along and help Dale close up.
What do you say, Bullet?
Yeah, it's okay. I can tell by the expression on his rudder. Well, good night, Granny.
Good night, Pat.
Hey, nice bunch of furs you have here, Granny.
Yes. And isn't it a beautiful moonlight night? Now tell me, what are you and Pat acting so cagey about?
Well, I just came out to see if...
To relieve Pat. You're acting like a couple of bodyguards. Pat drives me from town and stays till I have to feed him. Then you arrive and Pat leaves.
I'll tell you something else, too, Granny. I'm here for the night.
I thought it was some sort of gag for my birthday.
Oh, I didn't want to tell you, but I guess it's better that you know. That was no accident on the trail, Granny. 2 men deliberately tried to shoot you.
Granny!
Bullet, you stay here with Granny. I'll be in the kitchen.
Granny!
I'm coming.
Oh, Granny.
I'm coming.
Hello, Granny.
Hello, Dave. You know Bullet. I'm taking care of him for the night.
I see. I just stopped by to have another talk with you about that property of yours.
Now, see here, Dave. You almost killed yourself hiking up to the trap line to talk me into selling this place. I told you then I'd never sell.
Next year, the railroad spur will be built.
I know, and with the river going by my place, it's a perfect spot for a lumber mill.
Think of the money. You'll be a rich woman, and no more trapping.
But I like going up to my trap line, and I like coming back here.
Don't you realize how much employment the mill will provide?
There are no people out of work around here.
Then think of the new families the mill will bring in.
There are just the right number of people here now.
What do you think will happen to the place when you die?
I've got no kinfolks. I'm going to will it to the state so the people will always enjoy it.
Sounds crazy to me. Would to a lot more people, too. You better sell, Granny. This town's not going to stand for an eccentric old woman blocking its development.
What's the town going to do about it?
They might have you declared insane. Then a state administrator would manage your property, and he'd sell to the lumber company all right. You better take the money, Granny. You don't want to live out your life locked up in an asylum.
Don't worry, Dave. I won't. No one will ever lock me up. They'll have to kill me first, and I'll take a few people with me when I go. Just think that over before you start anything.
Now, Granny, don't get excited. I wouldn't do a thing like that. I'm just advising you to sell.
Good night, Dave.
Thanks, Pat. You better hurry on back here. Swallow left here before daybreak this morning and drove down to the county seat. Pat followed him in his Jeep. He had those two fellows with him that tried to shoot you.
What'd Pat find out?
They got a court order for Granny to face an insanity hearing.
We're not surprised at that, are we?
A fellow by the name of William Mason signed a petition. He proved he's a grandnephew of yours.
I had a sister who married a man named Mason. She died years ago.
If Granny was proved to be insane, that means the state would take over her property. What good would that do Mason?
Well, she told Swallow last night she wouldn't be taken alive. If she's dead, Mason would get it.
Oh, now, Granny, put that away. I want to talk to you.
Yes, I know what you're going to talk about. We've got a phone in here, too.
Now, be sensible, Granny. You come on and ride over to the county seat with me, and we'll get all this ironed out.
You have the court order, Sheriff?
No, they telephoned me. They're sending one over.
Well, you'll just have to wait till it gets here. How does Granny know who telephoned you?
It wouldn't make any difference if he had the order.
Now, Granny.
I've got no hard feelings against you, but I warn you, I won't be taken. You'll find me in my cabin, Sheriff. But I've told you, come shooting.
Well, if I can't find Granny, I can't serve the papers. Tell her to go up to her cabin on the trap line. That's out of my territory.
Granny won't run.
Well, then that means curtains for me, because I can't shoot back at her.
You won't have to, Sheriff. There'll be a couple of volunteers follow you. They'll do the shooting. You know, you're in the middle of a plot to murder Granny.
Me? What do you mean?
I found out that Dave Swallow got in touch with a fellow by the name of William Mason.
That's about far enough, Sheriff.
Put your gun away, Dave. I'll handle this.
I'm warning you, Sheriff. Stay off of my land.
Now, hold on, Granny. I got a job to do, and you'd better listen to reason.
I've warned you before. You'll never take me alive.
Now, what are we waiting for, Sheriff?
One more step and I'll fire.
Are you going to let her bluff you, Sheriff?
Drop your guns.
You got another one for the four-wheel stretcher, huh?
Yeah.
Come on, Bullet.
How old are you today, Granny?
How old do you think?
Well, let's see.
Hi, Sheriff. Hi, everybody. I just talked to the judge on long distance, and the insanity hearing is officially canceled.
Can I play the stamp machine again?
Swallow confessed to the whole deal, although we didn't need a confession.
Why don't you sit down and have some of Granny's birthday cake?
Thanks.
Do.
Granny's got a birthday, so we baked a cake. And since it's Granny's birthday, the biggest piece she'll take.
Oh, Dale, you promised. There were only 50 on it.
Granny, you have to blow out the candles, so make a wish and take a big breath. You have to get more air than that.
Well, that's good, Granny.
Of course he did it, didn't he?
Happy trails to you until we meet again. Happy trails.